And we get to see towards side once again. Jimmy at the top. And it looks like Jimmy's got the call of the flip here.
Yep.
He gets to go first.
In order to decide which side for the final, I literally flipped a coin.
George doing the honors and starts off with the Jirachi. That's why he's so happy.
Yeah, that's why he tells his opponent good luck.
Good luck, I've got the busted start. Here we go. Claps hands together.
Yeah, I mean, will that Jirachi give reason for Jimmy to establish a little unlock at some point?
It does. I mean, Jimmy's priority is normally just as many Zoroark as possible, but denying Stellar Wishes is still a big deal. So he'll probably do the normal thing of trying to get Ditto down, and then it might have to become a Zoroark if he draws poorly, but if all things go smooth, it can turn into a Muck.
We do see Tord having a pretty decent setup. Not going to be a big fan of benching that Lele, right?
His hand was so nice. He had a perfect Ultra Ball, but he's prized an Ultra and a Stretcher. So now that easy Ultra Ball looks so much more ugly straight out the gate. So he may Stellar Wish. Oh, I don't even know what he does here. It may be the Lele. This is already, like, from such an easy decision to just bin a Stretcher or something, it becomes so awkward straight out the gate.
Yeah.
He actually Stellar Wishes first.
Yeah, Stellar Wishes first and has the option of 5 different cards. All of them or most of them which have merit, but I do like the Lily here.
Yeah, I think you can actually pitch double Lele here. It's not ideal because you have to really value your Stretcher until you get to pull one of the 2 from prizes, but this strong Lily still looks really powerful. Let's see if Tord's done his prize checking. Yep, he knows. He knows what's where. Looks like he's eyeing up the Ultra. He's also looking at Ditto. Tord once again just re-establishing that he has no responsibility.
Yeah. No responsibility for any weird moves you might see in this matches.
Really nice Lily as well. Gets him to progress. Even more potential Ball Surge. He can get a turn 1 attacker down if he wants to. And even start attaching to it. He even gets into the Beast Energy early. Tord running on flames right now. This is amazing. Beast Energy is so important to establish as quickly as possible, because it's just one less Malamute that you need in play, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, and with how aggressively Jimmy will try to go after those probably, then that just means Tord has a lot more flexibility. As long as he keeps finding the right amount of switching cards. Honestly, that Beast Energy might prompt Jimmy to try to take that down first before hunting down the Malamars.
Yeah,
maybe.
Could be the case. And Tord had the option of all 3 energies there, and he chose to just show Jimmy the Beast immediately. Just say, hey, here it is. Get it on.
Yep.
Why not?
He said "what up" again in Norwegian, like yesterday.
I can't remember what it was at this point. It was too long of a day yesterday. Yeah, pretty insane turn 1 for Tord. He could have used the Viridian just to pitch another energy, find another energy. He doesn't know that Jimmy also plays Viridian just yet. It could have, like, if he knew Jimmy's Stadium, if this was like a game 3, he may have played the Stadium just to try and deny Jimmy like some Lily draws. At the same time, Jimmy could just pitch Stadium with the Stadium. I guess it doesn't make any sense, but he could have binned an extra Psyche if he really wanted to, but that's not too much pressure when he's going to be knocking out a non-GX anyway, more than likely.
Yeah, and even if Jimmy were to like punish this by a turn 1 judge, Jirachi's just gonna get you out of that for sure. So yeah, holding onto your hand seems very reasonable. Now Jimmy does respond with a 8-card Lily. Yeah, not lagging behind at all.
Oh, this works. Wow, that's insane. And you can see he's just going to go for the Zorua here rather than nest ball out a Grimer. So that'll tell you that he's setting his stall just to draw as many cards as possible.
Yeah.
surprising, really, that he didn't hold on to this Zorua. I feel like he could have just Nestballed out the Ditto and then had the Pokecom target. Pretty interesting from Jimmy, because now he would have had an awesome Mallow.
Yeah.
Now he has a really ugly Judge.
Yeah, that's true.
That's pretty rough from Jimmy. I feel like it's much better the other way around. Maybe there was some prizes. That's like the only thing I can think about.
Yeah, and I mean, just watching the hand cam, we do see his actions like in real time, right? So
yeah,
definitely felt a bit rushed as well. He didn't even contemplate the nest ball. He just benched and then passed. So
yeah,
maybe that'll come back to bite him here.
I mean, that's one of the reasons why I love watching Tord play. When it's untimed, you know that he's thinking through all these things, whereas Jimmy might have benched that Zorua and then be like, oh, actually, damn.
Yeah.
He might regret something. And Tord's literally his mouse is as far away from his hand as possible, and he's just thinking it through.
I'm definitely at fault for doing that a lot of the time. Like just doing something and then immediately as I let go of the card being like, well, I probably shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I knew it was wrong. I had a different plan in my head. I clicked a button. Whoops. Yeah.
But yeah, that is another factor, right? Like playing in real life versus PTCGO, it is easy to get complacent with PTCGO in terms of since it does things for you automatically, sometimes you forget to like double check something, you forget to or you do things so quickly that it ends up costing you a little bit.
Yeah. Tord is able to Stellar Wish into a Guzma. He may want to try and deal with that Rockruff of energy. He's also debating whether or not to evolve Ditto. There's no sign of a Grimer, so there's no rush for it to evolve into Ditto. So there's the upside of being able to Stretcher for it, but remember, he values the Stretcher anyway to be exactly Ultra Necrozma. So I think it makes more sense to just evolve this Ditto here.
Yeah. Now, that Zorua being more costly here, because if Tord goes for the Guzma KO on the Rockruff, Jimmy would have had the perfect Mallow for... not quite. One card short. I was thinking counter gain Lycanroc, but he needs a Zorg. So it's 3 cards.
Well,
so.
If he could have it, right?
Well, he's 1 card short.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah. Yeah, he has the energy. Lycanroc and counter gain. He would have Mallow for Lycanroc and counter gain. Yeah.
Yeah. This is pretty weak from Jimmy, to be honest. When you think about it, he's just limited his own options to be Judge and YOLO. Like that's it now.
Yeah. It depends on the top deck, right?
Yeah, it literally has to be a bailout.
Yeah.
Feels rough, but we've seen it a few times this tournament, right?
Definitely feels very Rockruff, I would say.
Oh dear.
Doesn't even consider the Rockruff option.
Well, he didn't top deck a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Justice, I would say. Toward powering up the slap on the Jirachi.
Yep. And Nespal just finds another Zorua.
And look, it's going to be DC, Judge, and Prey. Like, this could all be avoided. It could have been Judge and Guarantee at the very least.
Yeah.
But this just feels so ugly.
I mean,
there's a Zoroark.
It's always about the trade-off, right? Like, if you trade your Ultra Necrozma for 1 Rockruff, then that's definitely not worth it. If your response becomes Lycanroc, then in terms of just prices, it was 1 for 2. So you're definitely going to be behind. And then with the Beast Energy gone, it's going to be even harder for Tord to respond to that Lycanroc immediately.
Look at how insane this Judge is for Jimmy. Gets him a Zoroark, gives Tord completely nothing. That's actually so savage. Oh my goodness. What the... Ugh.
Because now even... Yeah, Tord can't get an attack off, but Jimmy already is holding the Acerola to 2-hit KO this Ultra Necrozma.
Deary me. Well, Tord's got himself a bunch of Malamars, but he may have to retreat into the Stellar Wish just to get him out of this funk, but retreating out of a Beast Energy feels like terrible.
Yeah.
Attacking into the Zoroark for 110 doesn't feel great either. Jimmy at least only has 1 trade in a short hand, but we know he's holding Acerola. So that feels rough. This is just such a sick Judge, like such a huge swing in the game.
So yeah, it's the Judge doing it for Jimmy. Could have been the Malo, and I feel like we would have been in this same situation where Tord would have not been in a great spot. But it's now just going to happen one turn later rather than immediately.
The thing is, yeah, I mean, it's a similar situation, but it's just Jimmy fell into this situation out of just a judge being fortunate rather than guaranteeing it and planning it all out. It's just sort of happened, which is not ideal. Tord's just going to go ahead and hit for 110. Yeah. Only a judge so far, only one Zoroark. What's the worst that could happen? Well, Jimmy's already got the answer, so this feels rough.
Yeah. It's a trade on the Riolu, and then Acerola into another Zoroark into another trade. Or not. Okay. I guess, yeah, the choice band doesn't ever hit any relevant numbers. Other than... Oh, no, not even against Lele. So, yeah. I guess Riolu is 20 extra damage. Guaranteed. I don't know. I would have preferred to see the Riolu go down there. Because if at any point you want to thin the deck, you can thin the choice band by attaching it rather than not having a bench space for a Riolu and then not having the opportunity to thin that particular card. But we're gonna see Jimmy take a big lead here. Very, very big lead.
Yeah, the Acerola perfectly timed. It's able to, well, not establish any more Zoroarks, but at the very least undoes the damage. Tord basically on a big Stellar Wish is really the only thing that can get him back into the game outside of also a good top deck. But as we know, one Ultra Necrozma's prize, so he can't just nest ball for it. He has to find exactly his one rescue stretcher.
Yeah.
So even if there's a Stellar Wish for a supporter card, there's no guarantees he can get a big response KO. So Jimmy's actually hovering over the Lycanroc here. I can't imagine he wants anything but to knock out this active.
Yeah,
the beat energy is way too scary, I think. Obviously, Jimmy doesn't know that there's only one Ultra Necrozma and one Stretcher, so maybe there's that. Jimmy's hand doesn't go much further away from this, but I feel like you still want to draw 2 cards rather than 1. He is debating the Lycanroc, though. Wow. Is he doing... This feels so weird to me. This feels alien. He's got to read the judge has done its work, though. Just let the judge do the brick.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Tord's previous turn was underwhelming.
Jimmy basically knows there's no switch, because if Tord was holding onto a switch, he would have switched into Jirachi to start his turn. So I guess it makes sense in terms of hand reading that he knew Tord currently doesn't hold a switch, otherwise it would always be played. So just denying Tord the option to Stellar Wish. But holy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh dear, that's so funny.
Tord getting immediately rewarded. Immediately. Oh,
this is
wow.
Good for him. This is good. I mean, Jimmy did well to identify there was no switch in hand, but he didn't expect to be coming up against Yugi Moto today.
Yugi Tord, yeah. I mean, I've never watched Yu-Gi-Oh, but I'll take your word for it. That is crazy.
That's gonna keep Tord in this game for sure. Very sick. Tord's deck has no pathetic cards. What a way to say it.
Yeah.
That's the highlight reel moment right there. Absolutely insane.
And now with the Ultra Necrozma being prized, there's a solid chance that Tord will be able to get another attack off next turn if he finds it.
Yeah, it's huge for him for so many reasons. It's so huge. He's thinking about charging up an Inkay here, just have a pivot option. I like it. Now taking 2 big prizes here. Tord keeping ahead in the prize race. He's obviously got damaged Ultra Necrozma, which isn't ideal. Let's still say he's still in awkward shape, but these prizes might give him a lifeline. Ultra and Tina. Ultra's a good pickup, but he would have preferred something to get him further along this game.
Yeah, but I mean, with what Jimmy has right now, he has no way to knock out anything, right?
Well.
Yeah, okay, so never mind.
Wow, okay. Back
Never
and
mind.
forth.
Back
Well,
and forth.
my goodness. What
Yeah.
the...
The thing is, Tord has the perfect response, right?
Yeah.
He promotes the NK, he reinforces with the Giratina, grabs a middle, and then gets a knockout on the Zorg.
Yep. This is kicking off. Jimmy saved by the top deck. He can now get multiple Zoroarks, but Tord's got the response in hand. He's literally just got exactly enough.
Yeah.
Amazing. This has been an amazing game to watch.
Yeah. It's like super...
Surviving the judge.
Super grindy, super... I don't know. Like a greedy game.
Yeah. Jimmy turned the game into a clown fiesta, but both of them have done just enough to keep going. Yeah. It's amazing. It's actually amazing.
Okay, so what will Tord top deck now? What will that? I guess that is the biggest question here. We know what he's going to do, so the biggest incognito is what is he going to top deck? Jimmy does find Ditto and DC off of the prizes, not bad, and he can Ultra Ball for Lele for Malo for counter game fighting. What the heck? What the heck?
I'm done. I can't even. There's no point anymore.
What the? What?
There's just no way.
Wow. I mean, I honestly, it's gotten to the point where I'm jealous. It's like, let me draw like this, and I'll win the next international, please. It's like, what the heck?
100 games in a row yet. Jeez.
What?
So you're slacking, man.
Wow.
This is why Tord changed his rules that you don't have to make a new account every time you're on PTCGO trying to do the 100 win challenge, because this account is blessed.
This account is blessed, yeah. That is true.
Incredible.
There are marketing accounts, and then there's this account. Wow.
Incredible.
That is insane.
Tablemon is the best deck ever.
I will buy it in real life, Pedro. Wow, so, I mean, jeez.
This is sick.
I mean, okay, so, realistically speaking, in order for Tord to get his last prize card, he's going to need the stretcher, right? Yeah, if Jimmy is able to GX scale the Ultra Grosma, then it comes down to the one stretcher left, or there was one prize too, right?
He pulled this second one from prizes, so there's a stretcher in deck and in prizes currently, and it's whether or not he can pull it out.
Okay.
Let's see it. Let's see that stretcher.
Okay, energy.
Last prize. Never lucky Tord.
Never lucky Tord. That is his name. Tord, never lucky Reckless right here.
So unlucky. Oh my. Can we get an F for Tord? So unlucky.
Alright. So, we do see the Ultra Ball. I can't imagine we're going to see anything other than Lele into Malo, into counter gain, into... What? There's no more Lele.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. That is going to be a big whiff. No.
This feels so rough for Jimmy now.
Yeah. And even benching that Ditto feels awful to thin for that, or to draw more cards with that Lily, because then...
I mean, does he have to have the mentality that he loses if he misses? I feel like he has to have that mentality.
Yeah. Yeah, if he doesn't get the counter gain here, it's definitely lights out.
He's going to Viridian away the Lycanroc. I feel like, Jimmy's taking the risk. Attach and Lily, saying, I lose if I miss.
Yeah.
So
he needs to see us.
I like this. To be honest.
This is once again playing to win, right? It's I'm doing the moves to where I win next turn, and it's up to you to have the right cards.
Let's see, Jimmy there.
Pile
The Mallow was in deck, but the Lele, of course, wasn't. Palpad not affecting the outcome of the game at all.
Yeah.
He's trying to give himself a better top deck. That's literally the only reason. But Tord can just look through the discard pile. He can attach an energy. He can do a Guzma. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah,
he can have game in any stylish manner he chooses.
And it seems like Psychic Sphere onto the Ditto will be the stylish manner he will choose.
Of course. Of course. I mean, I couldn't have thought of a more stylish play. Pedro wants to do the GX just to see what it can do.
Oh, this would be so BM if he powers up the Malamar and then attaches to the active and GXs.
If he Guzmas up the Ditto and then retreats the Malamar and GXs. Tord. He missed a trick there.
Yeah. Only slightly PM'd. I mean, honestly, obviously not in Jimmy's case, but I've had opponents where they don't remember about Sky Scorching Light. Yeah, so if you don't use it there, you're not reminding them that it's an option. So there's generally that very, very slight edge that I don't think would be relevant against Jimmy Pendarvis, but it could be relevant in other situations.
It's funny that before BMing, Tord also looked at his discard pile to see how many Guzmas he's played. Because if he hadn't played, if he had played 2 Guzmas, or if he had played 2, he may not have played the third one. Yeah. I mean, everyone expects 3, but still. He even looked at his discard pile to make sure that the BM was allowed in his own, so that he doesn't give Jimmy extra information. Because that's the one thing you don't want to do. Give someone an extra count because you were playing cards just to win more stylishly.
Yeah, the better information, the more information you have on your opponent's deck, the better decisions you can make, right? And less surprises you'll end up seeing. So there, even those small things, when you have 2 different ways to win the game, not revealing that 4th Guzma perhaps, or that 3rd Guzma even, could be relevant in a future game.
True. So Jimmy gets to kick off this game. It just feels so crazy that he literally wanted the game to just go Clown Fiesta mode with the judge. He could have just nest-balled, guaranteed things with Mallow, and been so much safer throughout the game.
Yeah. I mean, I generally think it was a misstep. It was a bit of a...
Yeah.
This is a really good Lily, and just going into a little bit of an automatic pilot, and I benched. Yeah. Whereas, and not realizing the communication versus nestball. So yeah, hopefully... I mean, this was generally a very fun game with all the top decks. It was really, really cool.
Back to back top decks, starting with Tord, then Jimmy, then Tord.
Yeah, back to back.
Playing tennis. Yeah. So fun.
Right. So we're gonna have Jimmy get to go first, of course. After Tord takes game 1 in a pretty interesting manner.
For sure. Jimmy starts off with a Zorua, has himself a Lily for turn 1. Tord with a really ugly hand. Yeah. Really ugly. He does not... Well, he needs some more Heart of the Cards, guys. Pray for Tord.
Okay, I would love chat to let us know what Tord is going to top deck. What they predict that he's going to top deck. Generally, I'll give a PTCGO online code to whoever predicts correctly.
Does Jimmy ever just lay for a Cynthia here, or do you feel like he benches Guru? Oh my gosh! There's no way.
No.
He didn't even stadium. Whoa, Jimmy!
And look at Tord's. What? If Jimmy's watching here, he's gonna be kicking himself.
There's no way. There's actually no way.
What?
What the?
That is insane. That goes against everything that I...
deserves this punish so hard as well. It's actually so wrong to judge turn 1 with 1 basic Zorua. It's actually so wrong. It can actually never be the correct play there. I can't even justify it. Obviously, we saw Tord's hand was dregs. Obviously, we know that, which makes this look even worse, especially when he gets into God hand now. But It's so risky. Zoroark loses so many games by getting let loose turn 1. And it's not like Jimmy plays a high count of Ball Search compared to any other Zoroark list. It's actually such a bad decision. And Tord able to fly for his turn 1 now. Holy, this is amazing.
That is insane. Yep. I mean, Jimmy did find Cynthia and Zoroark, not much better cards he could have asked for. And obviously he didn't know Tord was dead drawing, right? So badly. But it is questionable. It is questionable. Jimmy is here with us in chat right now, so I would love it if he could, because there's obviously logic behind it, right? There's a thought out process as to why you do this. So maybe, I don't know. I would love to know the reason.
The thing is, Malamar even has higher Ball Search outs to find a supporter turn 1 than Zoroark does, so he should definitely just build his own board. You're already on the advantage of going first. You get the advantage of an early attachment, so you can let your Lycanroc into the game so much easier. Your plan A is just so much stronger when it's actually running smoothly. And I mean, it looks as bad as it can be when Tord draws insane, but like, okay. It just feels so weak to me. I would say it's unjustifiable, personally.
Yeah. I mean, looking at what's happening right now, though, it seems like the judge played to no effect, right? Like, the judge actually gave us a much better game because it got Tord out of that weird draw, and Jimmy has also stabilized pretty nicely.
Yeah, so he has stabilized for sure, but like his hand could have been so much larger, and these basics could have been here a turn earlier, and he could have multiple Zoroarks. Now he's just stuck with one Zoroark still. He's forced to Lily next turn, so even if Tord was to smack into something, it's like for a 2-shot, it seems more viable at this point. So, man, that play. I mean, Jimmy's still one of the best players over the last 3 or 4 years, but I can't sit by and allow that play to. I can't be taught that play is correct.
Okay,
so I don't think I'll ever tell anyone else to make that play.
Do you remember at the beginning of the season when, like the DDG guys, team Jimmy and his team, they were playing this like 4 Great Ball, 4 Mesh Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Judge Zoroark. So, I mean, maybe it's just Jimmy's playstyle. Yeah, there's definitely merit to that end. Like, off of trade, it's slightly more likely that you'll recover off of a dead draw, off of a top deck situation. I don't know. So this reminded me of that.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense when their previous build had the 4 Great Balls.
Yeah.
But now he has 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Zoroark as like outs to not just insta lose. But like at the same time, Lily turn 1 and still Judge on turn 2 is still strong. Like, you're not going to get smacked turn 1. You're not afraid of a turn 1 from a Malamar player, really. And especially a Malamar has so many Ball Search outs. They have 8 plus 2 Lele, plus the 4 Cynthia, 4 Lily, and Erica. Well, Erica was poor, I guess, but the Malamar actually has way more outs than the Zoroark. So the Judge is more likely to benefit Tord. And yeah, regardless, we're seeing Tord continue with a really solid hand. He's got Distortion Door. He's got double Mally. He could even get a 3rd one down if the Lily brings him a draw support. A switch card.
Interesting.
Oh, he's already played a supporter. My bad.
Yeah, he's already played.
I'm getting overexcited. I'm just playing over the Judge in my head too much, man.
Yeah. And now,
I can't get past it.
Jimmy chose not to play that stadium, right? And we were seeing how not having that stadium is actually making a difference here, because Jimmy, Tord doesn't have access at all to the Ultra Necrozma, so it made it just slightly bit harder for Tord to get a big attack off with the Ultra.
I'm going to see Tord. He's going to kick on. 3rd Mally down. He can swing with Tina. It's not ideal. Jimmy can trade into Ace of Roller plays and stabilize pretty happily. Tord's going to evolve that 3rd Mally to get the attachment on Ultra started up. Jimmy only with 1 trade at the moment.
Only one trade, but we'll get a pretty solid Lily here. Interesting that Tord benched the Ultra Necrozma when there's already a Rockruff with an energy established. Because at this point, when there's 3 Malamars, it's hard to justify going after them, right? I do think there's merit to just trying to win by taking down Ultra Necrozmas.
Jimmy picks up Ultra Ball. That could let him into some Lele plays for Acerola if he wants to. Could also open the door. Now he has Guzma as well and a DCE, so he has the option to go for the GX attack if he wants to. Clear off an Ultra. The options are there for him. It's what he thinks is strongest at this point. With 3 Malamars, it's always scary to even just to Lycanroc through the Ultra Necrozma. But we've toured with only a 2-card hand. It feels reasonable to try and deal with it this turn. I don't know. He has a couple strong plays here, to be honest. Acerola's good because it lets you trade one more time. Guzma's also seeming like an option. We know from the first game against Pedro, he is always proactive at trying to deal with Malamars.
Yeah.
And it looks like that's what he's gearing up for.
Yeah, does seem like that will be the plan. And it makes sense here too, because the energies are stuck in the Giratina, right? So Tord doesn't have an infinite amount of psychic energies to just attach to the Ultra Necrozma. So this is actually I mean, if Tord doesn't take a prize here, then he's gonna be 3 prizes down by next turn, maybe even 4 if Jimmy targets down the Ultra. So yeah, this is a very solid play. Very, very solid play.
Yeah, I'm a fan. Tord needs to find himself some switching cards.
Yeah, Switch would do it.
Yeah, Switch would be really helpful. Because again, he could just clear energies off his Tina. Yeah. He could promote Tina just to clear energies off it.
Yeah. Now, he is thinking on whether to promote the Tina or not, just based on the fact that he could top deck a Guzma and then go Guzma KO the Zorg. I think that would be the only reason you would hesitate here.
Towards build playing 4 Viridians, it's so likely that the Lily could get him towards an Ultra Necrozma and a switching card.
It's all about that switching card here.
Let's see. Has 4 stadiums, 3 metals, and a beast. But the switch card is the one that's harder for him to find.
Ooh, this is super interesting.
It's going Malamar. Potentially, he's just thinking that Stretcher for Lele for Guzma is a play.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be right. 2 prizes is tempting. The Rockruff is also tempting. Even though there's that Ditto, there's no threat of the GX attack.
Oh, yeah, we are seeing Tord go ahead, grab that Lele. Using his favourite supporter. By the looks of things. Why risk from the Lily?
Yeah. It is the guaranteed versus chance, right?
Yeah.
And going for the 100% play seems okay, because then the prizes also give you options next turn to make another potentially 100% play.
Yeah. The only discomfort is that you don't have the Stretcher fallback now. If Jimmy does try to reply with a Lycanroc GX attack on the Ultra, that's like the only discomfort that you're suffering.
Yeah.
That's really about it, though.
Tord is placing the damage on the Malamars because those go down pretty much by just looking at them, right? But 40 damage on Giratina does matter against Lycanroc, because that way, thanks to the fighting resistance, or just the 130 HP, Lycanroc can never get a one-hit KO.
Yeah, it's for like Lele as well sometimes, even Lele and Lycan. That's what he's playing around, knowing that the Malamars are so squishy. Whenever Jimmy wants to knock them out, he will. Jimmy gets a nice trade into a Lele, also an Ultra Ball. 2 pretty solid cards. He's suffering with lack of energy at the moment. Surprising when there's 4 Forest in Tord's deck and 2 in Jimmy's that we are having an energy drought.
Yeah.
that's the case.
Now, I can't imagine Jimmy going for anything other than a KO on a Malamar, because then Ultra Grozma will have a very hard time taking down that Zorg.
Yep, for sure. It also means Jimmy can get a nice reload of the hand here.
Yeah, which is always appreciated. He's gonna end his turn with 7, 8 maybe cards to start off the turn afterwards. That is the second Kuzma, I believe. No, only the first. And he has Lele, so
yeah. It was the Bloodthirsty Eyes.
Yeah.
So he's thinking about whether or not he wants to evolve this Ditto. He knows Tord has Jirachi in there. Does he want to hold this off for a muck? Does he want to hold it off for potential more Bloodthirsty Eyes to keep plugging away at Malamars? He's got an attachment that he can place somewhere as well. There's a couple debates going on for Jimmy here.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy knows he's always going to take at least 3 turns to win this game, right? One on the Malamar, another one on perhaps another Malamar or Ultra Grozma, and then whatever's left over after that. So establishing that extra board so that you can find the Palpad and or the other Kuzma seems like the right way to go here.
Jimmy gonna commit DC to his next Zoroark. Having an attachment a turn is always really important for Zoroark. It means he still has the option of the Lycanroc, but he's threatening on multiple fronts at this point. Tord's still not able to find a precious stadium that he's been whiffing basically the entire game. You're going to see him Ultra Ball away double Lily here. Going to re-establish one of these Inkays. Does Tord only play one Stretcher? I'm almost certain he played double. I'm going to have to check your file again.
I believe it is only one Stretcher, yeah.
Oh, it's only one, okay.
It's only one.
So yeah, this is his last Inkay.
Last Inkay. The only way Tord gets a return KO is switch Beast Energy.
Let's see a big Cynthia.
Yeah, there's a switch, just not quite there.
That's all, yeah.
Not quite there. And odds were definitely not in Tord's favor for this one.
Yeah, there's actually, no psych in his discard pile either, I don't think, because he's just been lacking this Viridian the whole game. And no energy in there at all.
Yeah. 4 Viridian, none found. So yeah, I mean, Jimmy's early play looking pretty strong now, I would say. Obviously, he gave Tord a magnificent hand, but after that Lily, he didn't get a great follow-up. And I mean, just that decision of not playing the stadium, which he did mention in chat that playing the stadium in this matchup did not make much sense.
I mean, there is that argument, but there's also the argument that Tord plays 4. But I mean, obviously, Tord's not found it.
Yeah.
But it's more sort of the argument that you're only giving yourself 4 cards and you don't want to refine the stadium. But right now, it's paying off for Jimmy. He's really pulling ahead now. Tord just having to hit into the active again, which is very weak now that Jimmy has a couple Zoroarks up. He's more likely to dig towards Acerola. Having already played 1, though, this may force a retreat out of Jimmy. It's like no Acerola found for Jimmy. He can com for 1 more trade.
Yeah. I mean, it's... Okay, so what I'm thinking is, if Jimmy doesn't find Kuzma this turn, then if the Ultra Grozma was able to take down the Lycanroc, Jimmy would have no way to get the last 2 prizes to close out this match.
Ooh, no gusting effect.
No gusting effect. I mean, as long as Tord doesn't top deck the Kuzma, Jimmy will be fine, but that must be what goes on in his head right now,
That's
right?
What he's worried about. Yeah,
if I don't KO this Ultra Grozma this turn, or even the Lele, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. So that extra trade that Jimmy got off of the Ditto, maybe this is where he would have wanted that Ditto to still be a Ditto. Alright, so Jimmy playing the Mallow in advance for his next turn to make sure that he's not going to whiff. I can't imagine him putting anything other than Kuzma at the top here, maybe even the Pal pad.
Yeah, I think those are probably the options he's looking for right now.
Yeah, and then retreating into the other Zoroark seems solid to decrease the possibilities and force that Ultra Kuzma active if Tord intends to get another knockout.
Feels just about everything Jimmy can do. Yeah.
Jimmy's saying, well, if you have Kuzma, that's gonna be it. So will Tord top deck the game-winning card?
We've seen some top decks this tournament.
We have, yeah.
Can he do it again? Don't see a reason why you wouldn't promote a Malamar or a Lele here, because you're holding Switch already. It's already the only way that you win the game, really.
Yeah, because promoting Ultra Kuzma doesn't get you the knockout, so...
Let's see.
Oof.
Oh! Double Lele for the win!
Holy... Oh my gosh. Okay, so... I mean... Alright. So this... Tord gets a knockout on the Lycanroc this turn. I can't imagine him doing anything else. And then...
Yep.
Afterwards... I mean, if Jimmy judges, or if Jimmy knocks out the Malamar, he might still be safe. Because how does Tord take the last two prizes? Right?
It would require another Mali, a manual attachment, and Gust of Guru or the Damage Zoroark or something.
Yeah, so like this doesn't completely bail out Tord. It's definitely the card he needed to make sure that he stays in the game. And then he even apologizes to Jimmy for taking a while here.
Do I knock out this Lycanroc, or do I go for any other play? He's thinking about, what is his route? Obviously, dealing with Lycanroc seems good. He's worried about if he benches this Lele, Tord can just, benching the Lele seems so good. Dealing with the Lycanroc just seems too good to say no to. It's just what else he's doing this turn is what he's thinking about.
I mean, there's nothing he can put in range for Sky Scorching Light. Maybe that's his afterthought. Like, double Distortion Door gets Zoroark one off.
I guess he's just... Wow, this is insane. So he's just not going to bench anything. He's going to go for the knockout on the active. Play around... Well, the only thing he's not playing around is Choice Band Guzma, I guess.
Yeah.
Because his Lele falls to Choice Band Guzma. Well, I guess what he's saying is his hand isn't equipped to win in 2 turns by going GX knockout into GX knockout. He wouldn't have got...
Wait, Lele doesn't go down to Choice Band Guzma.
Why not?
Because he's 20 off.
No, GX.
Oh yeah, the GX, that's right, the GX. Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
So, Tord in chat saying he's stupid. So, I'm trying to sit here and justify it.
Yeah, I mean, all of this is under the assumption that there's no Kukui, right?
Yes, also Kukui is...
This is all under the assumption that there's no Choice Band Kukui combination to take down the Ultra.
Yeah. He's losing to a banned Guzma at this point.
Wait, no.
Because he can Rainbow...
No, but now Guzma, Choice Band, GX, KOs a Lele, though.
Yeah, for game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he's not playing around. Which is really bad. He's taken a long time. Toward having a look here. Seeing what he can do. Choice band is too broken.
Okay, so for a second there, I thought I was being silly and saying the wrong things, but yeah, this seems like not the right play, right? Tord got the top deck.
It's not right. Yeah.
And then, okay, so I generally thought I was like, oh my gosh, I'm making myself look so bad.
No, I was trying to justify it in the way that you were doing the same thing. Like, I'm saying how it's right that his play is wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
Rather than like trying to argue with you.
Sorry, I was very confused for a second there. I was like,
I'm
wait,
agreeing
what?
that he's not playing around the right stuff. And if Jimmy has a second Lele in deck, it's guaranteed.
Yeah. He's obviously gonna put back Kuzma and Judge. He will communication for the Kuzma.
Yeah, this time not prized. Jimmy gonna level things up. I'm gonna run to the men's room for an exciting game 3.
Yeah, go for it. Was Kuzma prized so he couldn't Lele for it? I don't believe so. I mean, he did get a Kuzma off his prices, true. I'm not sure. I guess, I mean, Tord is saying in chat how Choice Band is so broken. Therefore, I'm going to assume that he didn't consider that. Yeah. I'm going to assume that he didn't consider that. So, yeah, Jimmy, after that super, what's the word? When something causes a lot of talk. After a super controversial, Judge play on turn 1, he's able to take this game 2 away from Tord. So we are going to see a final game 3 in this best of 3 series against two of the arguably, I would say, Jimmy is probably the hottest player right now in terms of ability. Don't get me wrong. In terms of ability, the 4 regional wins are an incredible accomplishment.
Sure.
Yeah, like Jimmy just started drinking a different water of some sort because he had only won 1 regional 2 years ago, and then suddenly he wins 4, which is amazing. He was always so close though, right? He was always making so many top 8s. Just not quite getting the big win. And then after he got that big win, he just never looked back. And then obviously Tord with his 3 international crowns and even the finalist from the last NAIC. Like it's hard to argue against any of these plays. It's like, man, these 2 of the most accomplished players of the past couple of years, at least, if not ever, honestly.
For sure. And Jimmy, basically, like you said, he's been in and around, and he's just recently had those breaks in the right moments in tournaments to actually take the crown. But you know that his level of play is always up there. And Tord as well. Obviously one of the all-time greats now. He's basically put his name alongside Jason.
Yeah.
There's basically the argument between the two, who's stronger, and it's been forever since we've had even an argument to say if anyone's close to Jason. So,
have you ever played against either Jimmy or Tord at a tournament, Joe?
I've played against Tord a couple times. Yeah. I think we're 1-1.
1-1. Okay. Yeah, I've played against each of them twice.
I've never played Jimmy before.
I am undefeated against Jimmy.
Easy.
I won 1 and then I tied 1.
Nice. We'll take it.
Alright, so apparently Jimmy wasn't even realizing that he had game for a second there. So yeah, we're gonna see battle of Tord versus Jimmy. I mean, I can't think of a better way to finish this tournament than with a third game.
Exactly.
In this series.
Well, giving the crowd what they wanted to see in a game 3. And both players with reasonably strong starts here. Tord with opening treasure, has a draw supporter. You can start pitching some psychics. All looking pretty good from him.
Yeah, it's all looking peachy for Tord so far. And Jimmy's start, not bad at all either. Obviously, Grimer and Oranguru not Pokemon you want benched right away. But having the energy attachment for a Rockruff, then a Lily for potentially 6 or 7 seems like a pretty good deal.
Yeah, can't argue with it. Tord really taking his time over this finals, as one would.
Yeah.
He's going to go ahead and commit to second Ultra as well. Wasting no time. Can use the Viridian for his turn attachment. He can Nest Ball another Inkay, and he can pat himself on the back for a pretty sick turn 1. He could even try and go for a Jirachi if he really wanted to, but you'd basically be Jirachiing just for more basic Inkays. So it feels like it's just Inkay and go. I think if the Ditto was in deck, you may have gone for that just to get it in before the potential of a muck.
Yeah, before the muck, but that's not available, so...
Tord's gonna Stadium the Dawnwings, I guess.
Yeah, there's no other target you get rid of there.
Tord demanding everyone looks away. I'm so worried. When he says that, either he makes a mistake or he high rolls.
Yeah, exactly. It's
There's
either
the only two occasions.
Yeah.
We don't know yet. Oh, I'm excited. Well, I'm going to see him attached to the bench. Everything looks okay for now. You can send it Jimmy's way. Jimmy's got himself Nest Ball. Potential turn 1 attachment to the Zorua if he really wishes. Oh, sorry, to the Rockruff if he searches that out. He could also just grab something like Ditto.
Super interesting that Tord attached to the bench rather than the active. That will probably give Jimmy the afterthought of, does he already have the Guzma? Is he holding the Guzma, which is likely? Mm-hmm. So maybe the energy drop gets held?
I feel like you always want to get the attachment is just too valuable to say no to. If you attach to the active, it means... I mean, like, the information that Jimmy gains isn't worth, like, you not attaching. And attaching to the active is just actively worse, because you end up having to spend switch if you want to do the Guzma play. Yeah. So it feels like you just do the strongest play. It's just always correct to do the strongest play here.
True, but like maybe what I was going for towards is like perhaps of the Lily, you'll get the right combination of cards to Mallow for a counter gain Lycanroc and respond to this. Yeah. So by I guess there's Viridian. Never mind. I completely forgot about the Viridian. That always gives Jimmy the fighting energy he needs.
Yeah.
For a counter game play. So that definitely makes it pretty decent here.
Top decking the Guzma means he doesn't have to even bench a Lele to do his play, so he's not even worried about counter game shenanigans now.
Yeah.
He can deal with the Rockruff if he wants to.
Which I wouldn't see. I mean, if Jimmy responds with an Inkay KO, then I would say it's a fairly even trade because Tord's field is definitely not very developed. Yeah. But the Cynthia doesn't guarantee that you're going to develop a better field, right?
For sure.
Yeah,
there's Cynthia here. That's a little weak against Muck. That's something that might be on the back of his mind. He may end up having to Wonder Tag at the end of this turn.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's a little vulnerable. We know Jimmy loves to judge. He's got the option for Muck. He's got Grimer and Ditto.
Yeah, I don't like that discard for the Cynthia.
Uh-oh. This might be the don't look moment that we've been... No.
Oof.
Well, that's a scary turn for Tord.
I feel like if the Grimer was not down, you wouldn't bench the Lele because Jimmy will probably want to make that Ditto Lycanroc. But with the Grimer already down, oof.
Let's see how Jimmy's going to try and respond here. You got to feel like he's... Well, we know how fond of Judge he is. He's also got a potential Lily turn, but Judge actually feels like a strong move here, to be fair. When you see Tord pitch a Cynthia,
Yeah.
you know he's got a hand of sorts. But he is going to Lily instead. Thinks better of it, trying to dig for DCU, which he does hit, which is awesome. If he could trade into Lycanroc and deal with an Inkay, that would be pretty sick here. Especially if there's a muck at the end of it. It's asking for a lot to get a Lycanroc plus muck off a trade, but let's see. Well, there's Lycanroc. That's at least one of the pieces.
But he traded the Mallow though.
Yeah, it's a strange trade.
Mallow was the... I mean, I guess Jimmy, based on the Cynthia... Well, no. But
he's already holding counter gain, I guess. That's probably the biggest reason why he's not looking for Mallow. Like, you'd only be Mallowing for more Zoroarks.
Yeah, true. And you have the guaranteed energy, so yeah.
Uh-huh, yeah.
That makes sense. I know, it's just like, Mallow is always so good later on.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I would have thrown away the Lele more before the Mallow, but Jimmy's playing the final, right? So...
Well, Sword's able to find himself a new nest ball. There's Ditto and Lele both as options.
Yeah.
Towards saying he deserved to lose from the muck on the spot.
Yeah, if Muck had made an appearance there, that would have been... I mean, without considering top decks, would have been really hard for Tord to actually make something happen.
For sure. But for Jimmy, like, we know that the priority would have been for Muck, but he had no idea that Muck was the priority there for himself. Like, if he draws into it, sure. But feeling, like, not knowing Tord's hand, especially when he pitches a Cynthia, you'd expect Tord to not leave himself with just a Lele.
Okay, so... it could have been... I mean, I still think pitching the... Yeah, Lele, keeping Lele gives you the option to Kuzma. But...
Lele's for Cynthia. Very good.
Yeah, it's the first time that we see the discard of the supporter to come back to bite Tord in the behind.
Switch a skateboard play, so you can now evolve up that Inkay.
Yeah. The Ditto is super interesting because of, because of the muck.
Yeah, Ditto. It feels too scary for me. I feel like you just give up the ghost. As soon as you put the Ditto down, then Jimmy's going to start hunting for the answer. Tord not able to one-shot here.
Yep. And no follow-up supporter either.
Only one money down. Do you start spreading your threats here? Do you attach to each Ultra Necrozma and just Psychic Recharge one of them? Feels like that might be a play. I don't even know if attacking into the Zoroark is much value, to be honest. Because you force yourself to find even more switching outs. Maybe just having the double threat is a stronger option here. So if Jimmy does go for a gusting play on a Malamar again, you can at least get over the line with one of these Ultras.
Yep.
We'll see. You could just attach double Psychic to the Ultra as well if you really wanted to, but I think I like spreading the threats here.
Yeah, I think that's the right call to make here. Jimmy holding double Kuzma, though, means the Inkay and the Malamar could be going down in back-to-back turns.
Yeah. And if there's one thing we've seen that's been consistent with Jimmy's play, it's always hunt down those Mallies as aggressively as possible.
Yep.
It's one thing he's known about the matchup. He doesn't like the matchup, he said it himself in chat, but he does his best to steal tempo away from the Ultra player by just kill the engine whenever you can.
Yeah. Now, I mean, in order for that to happen, Jimmy does need either a DC,
right? Yeah.
Or he can bench the Zoroark Kuzma and then pay the retreat, so it's not bad at all.
It's a little ugly, though.
Yeah, it is.
The Kuzma looks painful. It may be Well, it's hard. Do you ever just smack into this Lele and attach a fight into the Lycanroc? I don't know. I think that feels super weak as well.
Yeah, it's hard to justify that one, I feel.
I think because you have a counter gain, you can get away with another non-GX knockout, knowing that you'll go behind for counter gain again. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine.
How many fightings are in Jimmy's discard pile so far, though? He could be down to one fighting, one rainbow at this point.
Yeah, I think there's a couple in his discard pile.
Yeah.
Able to take a Zoroark from prizes is always nice. I think it was a Zoroark.
Yeah, because he traded away the Zoroark, so that's
the last one. Get rid of Psychic and Viridian. He can Ultra Ball.
Yeah.
Grab himself Lele number 2. He still had the option to Wonder Tag, which is great news for him. Is he ever going to be respectful of the next? Does he ever just bump through the... Yeah, he has to Lily here, right? He can't just sit on the one Malamar. It's too gross. More or less. The hottest player in Pokemon, I'll take it.
No Cynthia's available for Tord, so it's gonna be a slightly better How for him this turn. Oh no, better than How for sure.
Way better.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't realize he could evolve this Malamar.
Yep. So he's got knockout. He's gonna Lillian, hope to find stretches or Bull Search or that Inkay itself. That's all he's after. He finds the Inkay. Happy days.
Happy days indeed for him.
Also start treasuring to play around Judge if he wishes to. Have you ever seen Jimmy and Omnifolk in the same place at once? We've been rumbled.
Yeah, Tord, barely scraping by with one Malamar, but if that one gets taken down now, then Tord will definitely not have KO.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I guess he
would
could
have to be a
KO Lele.
knockout, right?
Or
Or
go after
Lele,
Lele, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's no Kuzma in his hand yet, so...
It's not all looking peachy. This double prize is obviously a huge for him. That was step 1. It's just that his hand doesn't get him much further unless the prizes gets him towards Kuzma.
Yeah.
He's only played 1 so far.
Yeah, 1 out of 3 available. Kuzma is such a busted card.
It is.
Right, so we're gonna see the Photon Geyser. I guess Tord was trying to Sky Scorching Light, but the game just wouldn't let him.
I think Pedro would have done it that turn.
Yeah. He would have read it 3 times and then done it. I mean, was Pedro saying that because he thought it was 7 damage counters and not 6?
I don't know. I think he's just memeing. I think. I don't know.
I hope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, Jimmy has his counter gain play as an option. He's also kept a Guzma option available to him as well.
Yep.
As long as he can get into that DCE.
I can see how taking those last two prizes could be a bit hard for Jimmy, because with what Tord has right now, he can respond to that like a knock.
He really wants to find DCE this turn.
Yeah.
So much stronger. He's got the nice backup. The backup's always there for him. That's why promoting the Lycanroc's always correct. So if everything else fails, he can at least do that. But Guzma DC is definitely the hope here with this last trade. Ooh, that's rough.
No KO, so I guess we're gonna see the Judge this turn, right?
I think if you can't,
I guess he can counter gain with the energy on the Zork to get this KO.
That's also a thing, but it sacrifices your counter gain Lycanroc play, so Jimmy really valuing, basically saying that this is gonna be an ace, like I instantly ace a roller this, and that's my next turn.
Yeah.
So that works out. But as soon as you ace a yeah, I guess when you ace a roller, you can just find DCs anyway. Yeah, we're chilling. This is a nice play from Jimmy. I really like it.
Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario for him right now is if Tord gets a knockout on Oranguru, and Tord does have the stretcher, and he can reestablish Malamars. The shuffle 3 option seems decently.
He has
strong
enough ball search. Yeah, exactly. He has enough ball search to instantly get Inkay Mali. And there's 3 and 2 in the discard. Yep. So he definitely needs to do the choose 3 effect.
Is there merit to using Distortion Door and then taking 2 prizes? Probably not, because then Jimmy will be able to Acerola and GX the Ultron Charisma.
Well, there's a 60 hit point Rockruff in Jimmy's board, so the GX attack just taking 1 prize is still really strong here.
Yeah, well,
it might just be
that's true. Just
GX attack, put 60 on all the Zoroarks. Do all your ball search, Lily to try and dig towards Guzma for your last 2 prizes. That feels like a really strong play. You redevelop your Malamar and your Inkay. You take the 1 prize, put damage on the Zoroark and Lycanroc. That puts you really nicely in range. So we might see finally Sky Scorching Light.
Yeah, and I mean, if Jimmy doesn't get the Acerola, then Tord immediately wins the next turn, basically.
So
yeah, I guess Giratina would be obviously too greedy and unnecessary. Just the 1 prize is enough.
Yeah, 1 prize is just perfect, right?
Yeah.
If you take the 2 prizes, you still have to go through a 2 prize on the next turn, so it doesn't really change it. You'd rather have more Malis. Tord does have 1 Malamar in deck and 1 Ditto, so this route works, but so does... If you can guarantee the Inkay, you could just get 2nd Malamar here instead. That's strange. I mean, he's guaranteeing an Inkay and a Malamar anyway. But it feels strange to get the 3rd Inkay, just for the option for Hypnosis. It feels like all it's there for.
Yeah.
Rather than having higher odds of finding that extra Malamar. I guess he can hold on to the Ultra Ball as well.
Is Ultra Balling the 2 energy away not better? That way you draw 5 off of the Lily. Well, I guess if he's planning on attaching.
I think he's gonna Stadium a Psychic for a Psychic, and then still just draw 5 rather than the 6. Because I mean, what does he actually need to dig into? If he just holds the Ultra Ball, that's all he really needs outside of like Guzma, I guess. Oh no, he's already Stadium, right?
So like, that's what I meant. Like holding the Mysterious Treasure instead.
Right.
Gives you a less harsh discard afterwards, but I mean, it's not that big a difference.
It means, well, just guaranteeing the attachment, I guess. It's just such a big deal.
Yeah, guaranteeing that. Well, you have Viridian, though, to guarantee the attachment.
I thought he's already played it.
Yeah,
I think he's already Viridian.
Right. You might be right.
I can't see it highlighted. That's the only indication I have.
That's true. Yeah, no, that's true. He definitely had already played it, but
and I like holding the Ultra Ball to just guarantee the next Mali. Wait. Huh?
Okay,
no.
So he's choosing not to activate Counter Gain and then hunt down that Counter Gain Zorg, I guess.
Wait. This is so weird.
I mean,
I'm amazed that the GX attack hasn't happened here.
Yeah.
What? Tord?
He says this was still correct.
That was for the other thing though. That was before.
Okay, so Jimmy will commit the DC to the active, will take down this Malamar, and will choose to judge. But yeah, I mean, now Tord will be able to get the KO because he does have that last Psychic that he can find with Iridian, and he already found. And then that means no counter gain for Jimmy, unless he puts it back with Oranguru, which might be his plan.
How can you lose to... I don't really see how you lose to Judge too much, though, because you're keeping all the energy on an Ultra. Oh, right, because he can just use the Acerola counter gain attack. Yeah, I guess. This is fair. Tord will win. I guess.
Yeah.
Jimmy's gonna do his best though. It's just Jimmy having to attach again. It's such a big deal because it basically just cancels the Lycanroc out of being relevant.
Yeah, so we think that DC ends up being even bigger than. Yeah, the commitment of the counter game. That's the key.
Yeah.
Key aspect here. Toward banking on there not being a second counter gain, of course.
Yeah, it's really rare to see multiple counter gains. Super rare. I don't think you play around it normally. I don't think I would ever play around it. That's amazing to not see the GX. I feel like, well, I'm greedy and probably would just take it.
Yeah, I definitely would have been greedy there too.
We are greedy boys.
We are. Okay, but I mean, without the Guzma in Tort's hand, he gets this knockout, right? Then he needs to get one prize card. But how... He would need like a fairly big combination of cards to knock out the Oranguru if Oranguru just decides to go... Well, yeah, I guess... If Oranguru decides to get back the counter gain, and Jimmy plays it...
That's fine, though. You don't mind that.
But then, like, I mean, without... Tord has the Guzma, right? So it's probably that will be the game-winning card. But if you don't have that Guzma, I guess you have 2 turns to find it. Yeah.
I don't think it's a problem. Like, this is the 100% safe play, and this is why Tord is in the finals right now, and why he's got one of the best records of any player ever.
Yeah.
It's because he's making it so that he literally can't lose the game.
Yeah.
Rather than just take the prize there, fall prey to a potential Acerola counter gain GX attack, then you need to find... Well, I mean, the thing is, the Lycanroc would already be damaged. You'd already have a Malamar in play. You'd already have the pivot of Lele. I feel like both are, like, so safe.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this is just super safe. Just be even safer safe. Why not? It's an Ultra Ball to find a Malamar here.
Yeah,
Has he been a Guzma here? I feel like he bins a Guzma here.
Yeah, he finds Malamar, loads up the other Ultra.
Oh, he's going to bin the Lily. That also works because he actually is only ever looking for this one more Malamar. He doesn't need to draw any more cards this whole game. That also makes sense.
Yeah, and there's absolutely no way Jimmy will be able to...
Yeah.
To get a KO on an Ultra Guzma, so then that other Ultra Guzma with a second Psychic Recharge after this first one will be able to just KO either Grimer or Oranguru.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Tord set this up so you literally can't lose. That counter game for Jimmy, pretty painful, and it just meant that Tord could be patient in this exact moment, wait for this big one shot, and he's now... You know, Jimmy's already played his judge, and Tord's sitting on 2 of the cards that he needs to win game.
Yeah.
Tord reading Sky Scorching Light real quick. Doing a quick text message to Pedro, telling him what that attack does.
Telling him he found the play for EUIC.
Who won game 1? Tord did.
Tord did.
It's right there for you guys. You can see it. Just above his cool sunglasses.
Yeah. Right. So... I think... that will be it, right?
Yeah, it feels like it's all covered.
Is Tord going to GX this turn? This means there's no response from Jimmy.
Means even if there's
a multi-switch potential.
Yeah. Multi-switch is the only thing you're scared of, but I think this is completely safe.
Yeah.
We still think it's safe just because it's playing around the counter gain still, and now there's energies everywhere. Here we go, Sky Scorching Light. A turn later, when there's still no counter gain around. I think the indication when you see a gain means they're probably not playing the multi-switch. It feels like it's just a one of either or rather than both. And Tord seems to have it all wrapped up here.
Seems like it, yeah. If Jimmy had not evolved, had evolved there, how would that have changed things? I don't think it would have, because then if Jimmy had evolved the Muck, maybe if Jimmy can find Kuzma KO the Malamar, then Tord is out of psychic energies.
Well, the Ultra still has the 4.
If Grimer had evolved, he would have had to knock out the active, right?
Right, yeah.
So then if Jimmy KOs the Malamar...
Yeah. This is why, yeah, exactly.
So not evolving that Grimer could have been a very costly mistake.
Big punish by Tord. There's the thing, everything's been opened up to him because of that, and Jimmy just looking through everything. Acerola wins the game. I don't think Acerola changes anything on this board.
Yeah, because counter gain is not activated. That Mug, I'm looking at that Mug trying to figure out, because I'm pretty sure Tord doesn't have any more psychics to attach.
No,
he only has
it's only recharges. Yeah,
it would have come down to the beast. If he top decks the beast, then he has just enough to KO the Muck on the bench, but that's it.
Yeah,
right,
exactly. Or the Guru. Yeah.
Oof.
Crazy game.
Crazy indeed.
Jimmy just gonna keep trading. Deck looking pretty thin, but I'm not really sure what he can do to affect the outcome. It feels like Tord has it literally wrapped up. There's no hand disruption options.
Yeah,
that would be the first thing on his list.
Without the knowledge of Tord's hand, Jimmy might be thinking, no, it's because like Tord is just never gonna fall to a counter game, right? To a counter game plane. Like Tord would never, would never KO the Orankuru. Yeah. But maybe you play to the misplay? With the knowledge that Tord has a fever?
Resource management is probably his only play here, right? Force the cards.
Yeah, there it is. There's the fighting.
Maybe even just attach the Lycanroc to the play, right? You just attach the Lycanroc force.
Yeah, true. If there's no Guzma, then maybe you win.
1 turn window. Make Tord have it.
Yep, that's what we see.
Yeah. It's basically the only play.
Yeah, it's playing to your outs.
There we go.
Playing to your outs. We get the well played. We see the Guzma, and Tord Reklev will add the most prestigious title of his career to his line of achievements. Big congratulations to Tord. That was really, really impressive and really interesting to see. Big congrats to Jimmy as well. Incredibly well played. Lots of controversy, I guess, with all the plays. But I mean, we all have different styles of play, right? So the plays that they did versus what we were discussing, not necessarily good or bad, just different play styles. Yeah. Maybe some not as optimal as others, but also not necessarily wrong or anything. Yeah. Super well played by both players, and huge congratulations to Tord Reklev.
Amazing to take the first title. He's always one for chasing titles, and he likes to be the first. And yeah, it's a great way to sign off a brilliant tournament. Pablo, you've done great work. Slaving away for the little hand cams on both sides. It's been really brilliant. It's been pretty smooth throughout the whole time as well. we've been able to just hop into games as and when we please, and it's been really awesome to be a part of it. So thank you for that.
No, thank you for accepting to cast with me, Joe. It's been a really good 11 hours spent with you, and makes me even more excited to go watch Chelsea with you in a week's time.
It's gonna be cool. We'll be around for the IC as well.
Yeah. When are you traveling to Berlin?
Wednesday.
Oh, okay. Me too. From
We'll
Stansted?
Yep, I think we might be on the same flight.
Via Ryanair?
Yep.
Okay, then we probably are.
Easy.
Pretty cool.
Sweet.
Okay, well, I guess the floor is open to questions on chat if you guys want. I wouldn't mind talking a little bit more about the Invitational or whatnot. If you have things to do, Joe, don't feel.
Yeah. I'll leave you to it, I guess.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
No,
and,
thank you.
I'll speak to you, I'm sure, afterwards and whatnot. So yeah, see you soon.
Yeah, see you soon, Joe. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Thank
Bye.
you so much. Bye. And yeah, thank you so much to everyone watching. Over 300 viewers. That is incredible. That is actually incredible. So yeah, I'll be happy to take questions now. I'll give it a second because I just saw an ad was running. Okay, so I will get to the questions in just a second because I know there's an ad playing right now. So yeah, I mean, I want to thank especially the players and Joe for helping me. This was literally a 10-person job, I guess. I did all the background work, the graphics, the video editing, everything, and then I invited Joe a few weeks ago to cast with me. I thought I wasn't going to be casting because I was going to be in Guatemala at this time. Okay, so let me get to those questions. Amphi, how did I choose the players for the Invitational? There were many factors going into it. Obviously, prestige as a player, social media presence. Obviously, there are so many accomplished players that even like I wanted to play in the Invitational, right? Just to face off against these all amazing players that I sometimes face off against tournaments, but not often enough. So it was a combination of factors: social media presence, community interaction, result-based as well. So there were many factors, that came into this, and ultimately it was my tournament, so my decisions. And people can disagree with my choices. People can agree with my choices as well. A lot of players were left out, and a bigger tournament would have meant even more time invested into the editing and the production of this. And there were things to consider in terms of getting this done before the next set, before Unbroken Bonds, before Daytona, before the European International. So there were many factors, yeah? It's not just, who are the top 8 players and that's it. There were many factors going into it. Do you think Malmö is actually a play for Berlin? I do not. Okay, so I'm going to answer questions of the Invitational, yeah? Venus or Stalwitz or Rocario, I don't think you can beat it, but... Gabriel, can we have a pre-tournament for 1 viewer spot in the next invitation? Okay, so in my experience, organizing things is really difficult. Yeah, and getting people to commit and to be proactive and to find opponents and to do it in a timely manner, it's really difficult. And I would love to host a Tablemon Open. I've approached a few people about it. I hope it will come to fruition at some point. But just the immensity of it is something to consider. Yeah. So it's definitely a good idea. That's good feedback, Gabriel. I thought about it for this one, yeah, but I want to be like the first one, and then with all the feedback that I get, both good and bad, I will try to make an even better Tablemon Invitational number 2. What did they get? The prize pool was $100. I wasn't able to get sponsors for the event, so that was just my own money that I put up front to encourage them to be committed to playing the games. Has your passion for Pokemon changed since you went full time? My passion for Pokemon, no. my approach to it and the way I invest time in it and in other things in my life definitely has changed, but that's not related to the tournament. Thank you for the congrats. Is EUIC next week? The 26th to the 28th, the Alaskan Hero indeed. Are the lists up somewhere? I will get to uploading the lists as soon as the live stream is over, along with the games on YouTube. So yeah, ask me questions about the Invitational, guys. Questions about the Invitationals. Can we get an Invitational with newly aged up seniors that are now masters? Mordaka's here. I mean, the thing is, one of the factors that comes into this is I needed the players to record their game so I could use that footage to do the 2-player open hands. Yeah, so it's not about disregarding age divisions. It's purely based on seniors and juniors will be less likely to be able to record their games, and the technology and everything. There's so many other factors. It's not about that sort of thing. Yeah, so people who know I stream, right? I know they know how to record a match. Yeah, so that also comes into play. PTGO should have spectator mode, so this kind of streaming would be easier to do. I wholeheartedly agree, but it should have been added when the game came out. I generally don't think they'll ever add it. Thank you so much, Windvestal. That's very kind of you. Any chance this will be repeated? Very high chance that this will be repeated. I'm not sure when. It was a big investment in time. And my channel and my Twitch streams took a big hit because I haven't been able to stream or make videos because I was so busy with this, which does affect my income a little bit. Plus the money I invested into the price will run out. So I mean, it's not about the money, but the time I invest is also time I'm not dedicating to other activities, and that's something that I need to consider. Yeah, so eventually, hopefully, I will do another one. That is my intention. It's just I need to find a better balance. Yeah. So yeah, is there anything different you want to do next time? I mean, I think the hand cam is better. Having specifications for the recordings would be better because each player had like different settings and whatnot. So that made the editing a little bit tougher for me. So being more strict you need to record with these settings in OBS. So input this and then be done with it. Would be a great video with best moments. I would love to do that, Selinchi, but going back through 11 hours of footage would be insane. Like I could do one with the clips that people made of the tournament, because those are definitely like they're already done. But going back through 21 hours, 11 hours of footage is just not time effective for me, I don't think. But if someone is willing to do it, they can use the footage from Twitch or my YouTube videos, or I can give them the footage as well. I don't mind that. Cricket, thanks so much for the 25 bits. I appreciate it. Do you think this should be recorded on Limitless? Maybe. I mean, if they want to record it, that could be cool. Estimation on hours invested into the event. I mean, already it was just 11 hours casting it. Yeah, and then the first video, and when I was trying to figure out everything and the proportions and trying to make it look good, and then designing the logo and the intros and everything, at least 40 hours, I would say. At least 40 hours. Yeah, at least 40 hours that I invested into making this all happen, including the casting. Prize pool was $100 that I gave from my own money. We only post official tournaments. That's completely okay. I never expected this to be up on Limitless. So yeah, any more questions I'll be happy to answer. I also want to get going. Tweet. No, I had a good breakfast, but to drink some water, have a rest, enjoy my Sunday, and get those videos up for you guys on YouTube as well. And then also watch Game of Thrones. That's super important for today. Do you think the channel has grown from the tournament? No. No, that's not something that happened. Did I have fun doing it? Yes, I definitely had fun doing it. There were some slightly stressful moments because like all 8 players, they're super busy with their own schedules, right? Just like I am. So like I told them about this, I believe in the beginning of February, yeah, and we're in the middle of April. So I told them like, I know we all have busy schedules. We all probably do coaching. We're all traveling to all of these events. So we have a lot of time to do this 8-person tournament. Yeah, just I want you guys to please commit. Yeah, I contacted each of them individually. They all committed. They were all great in getting the games in. The final was actually played, I believe, this past Wednesday. Yeah, so you can see how there's a lot of like logistics that can happen. So there were a bit of, I was a little bit stressed this past week, just because of the date looming, because streaming it next weekend didn't make any sense because of Daytona, and then the weekend afterwards it's the European International, and then after that everyone would be thinking about Unbroken Bonds and nobody would care about this format. So yeah, but I generally love doing all the like video editing, graphics, trying to improve upon that. The thing I enjoyed the most, honestly, was making the intro. The intro for the Invitational. I love how it came out. But yeah, I definitely had a lot of fun doing it, and it's always nice to interact with these 8 great guys and also Joe as well. What was my favorite part? The intro. Yeah, the intro. And have you thought about doing another Invitational but with a wacky format like Legacy? I have not. I don't think that would be too appealing, because like the players won't necessarily have all the cards for Legacy format. So I mean, maybe, but I would think I would want to keep it as a very competitive, standard-based thing, which I think is the most appealing to most people. So yeah, how do you like casting versus playing? I can feel my throat being super sore from all this talking. I do enjoy casting, but I definitely enjoy playing more. If I got the opportunity to cast tournaments, I wouldn't mind it. But I do enjoy playing a lot more. So yeah, it's like Legacy. I don't think it would be very appealing to viewers, whereas hyper competitive standard format with hyper competitive players, I think that's the real target here. So yeah. Any more questions, guys? Otherwise, that will be it from me today. I'll try to get at least 1 or 2 games up today on my channel. Yeah, it only takes me like 10 minutes to start the uploads. Expanded, maybe. It's just all the big events are standard, right? There's 7 expanded regionals, 7 standard regionals, but then there's also 4 standard internationals, and Worlds is standard. So I think standard is just overall the more appealing. So yeah, definitely gonna be changing the formats of the group stages and whatnot. I like StarCraft 2. That's how they did it in StarCraft 2. So I wanted to do something like that. But I think just a normal double elimination tournament seems the better way to do it. But yeah, we'll see. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words, people. And I probably won't be streaming tomorrow, but I should be going back to a more regular schedule of streaming and YouTube videos now that I don't have the Tablemon Invitational looming over my head. So yeah. Going to any soccer games while you're in Europe for Berlin? Yes, I'm going to watch Chelsea next Monday. That is super awesome. I've always wanted to watch Chelsea in London. I got to watch them in Manchester against Manchester City, but now I get to watch them in London, which is awesome. All right. Thank you guys so much. Have a nice day, and I'll see you soon in another video. Bye bye.